There was this week we sold out of it. We didn't get a lot, but there was a Daredevil Captain America one shot that came out. It was $4.99, but it actually had more pages to it. But it was the same amount of pages that this Ghostwriter exercise could have been. But those extra 10 pages were actually still art, but it were $4.99 instead of $3.99. So it's a $3.99 book, and if there's extra pages, they give you a bunch of shit that they don't need to redo or whatever. It's just a bunch of reprint stuff. But if they actually are going to give you the extra 10 pages of art, they're going to charge you $2 extra.
Is the page rate for an artist really that great for that they have to charge? Is that extra buck that important? I mean, are these guaranteed contracts and these big payouts to these names in comics, is that having that much of an effect on the industry that this sort of stuff has to go on now? Because to me, as someone who works in the industry, I don't see, I don't see that much money. But okay, let's go to the other side. DC Comics has also done $3.99 books. And there was, of course, with Final Crisis, you've had these spin-offs.
And they do all the Final Crisis tie-ins and miniseries are all $3.99 cardstock cover. But the difference is that there's 30 pages of art. All right, that's not even counting the ads. There's 32 pages of solid art, and then I'm guessing there's probably 12 pages of ads or something like that. But you're getting 30 pages, and it's $3.99. So I shouldn't say probably like 90% of the stuff that I've read, I've actually counted, and it's all been 30 pages of art. All right, $3.99. And even more is the Superman New Krypton one shot that came out that's launching the new Superman story. $3.99, 40 pages of art, all new. There's nothing reprinted. There's 2 stories in there, and there's 40 pages total of art, and that's $3.99.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You get to me, you get $3.99. I mean, you get a whole lot of story. It goes on and on and on, and I'm even going. They're squeezing this baby out all the way to the very end of the book.
I mean, like the last half of the book, you have ads in it.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's the almost the last page, and bam, we're still there. And Dark Horse is doing the same thing. They Buffy, they'll put extra pages of artwork in the book,
and it's only $2.99.
And it's $2.99. And how is it that a smaller company like Dark Horse is able to do that, and yet a company like Marvel that is leading the industry right now in sales finds it necessary?
Well, do you kind of know why that they're leading in dollar sales?
Well, yeah.
Well, because other comics are on average more money. And then we even talked about the Marvel trades, how ridiculous the prices are on trades. Not only are the periodical, the monthlies going up in price, but the trades are even more ridiculous.
Yeah, now you have to actually...
Now you're getting $30 for a fucking trade now.
And you're not even getting... and it ends up being more than what you would have paid if you had bought the issues individually.
Yeah.
I would just like to know why. I mean, I would like someone to... I mean, again, I am not the most business-savvy person in the world, but I mean, I know things such as price points. I'm familiar with things like, supply and demand. This is going to be killing demand. Mm-hmm. This is going to kill demand. You're going to find, as you said right from the get-go, they keep going to that core audience. This is going to drive away newer readers, okay?
And I really think that for a lot of readers, though, that this was the last
one. Oh, yeah.
I actually had 2 people come in today, and, as much as, I like to make the store money, they're really good customers. I see them every week. They had this in their pile, and I said, to both of them, I'm like, did you look through this before you bought it? They're like, no. I'm like, I suggest you look through it before you buy it. It's a $4 book. Look through it. They look through it, and they're like, what is this? I'm like, that's exactly why I had them look through it. In good conscience, I could not sell this to good customers. I just couldn't.
If your fanboy wants to insist on buying this, that you can't do anything about that. But yeah, it's very difficult to justify.
And in both times when I brought them up, just today, the 2 times I brought them up, they're like, well, I'm glad you had me look through it, because then they both put it back, you know?
I mean, I could say if this were a $2.99 book, or I'll even give you, heck, I'll give you $3.50. I'll even give you well, I can't do $3.50. You know what?
$2.99 I'd be bitching about this, but this is just bad. It's just wrong. And like I said, they missolicited it at the beginning, and I'm sure they put out like a Diamond Dateline update, like letting the retailers know, like, oh, there's been a change, by the way, in the content of this book, because Marvel's notorious for doing that, like changing stuff. Like the week after we order stuff in Diamond, they'll put out in the Diamond Dateline that retailers get every week. They'll let you know what changes have been made to the product you just ordered, which is totally ridiculous to me. Mm-hmm. They do it all the time, and they do it because then usually when they missolicit something, books would be made returnable.
Right.
Okay.
Well, isn't this is returnable though?
I'm assuming that it is.
I just found, Lori told me that
okay.
Ghost Box is returnable.
Okay.
I guess that affront was just too much to take, and they made it returnable.
I think it was, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, I mean, this has been a good rant on this subject, and thanks for bearing with us up to this point. But as you can see, I think the evidence is pretty plain right here. Mm-hmm. That there is just some very questionable decision-making being made at Marvel right now as to page counts, content, how much they're being charged, and I think the eye is getting taken off the ball in regards to, just telling good stories and getting them into the hands of people. Mm-hmm. Because if you're going to be, I can only imagine the kind of justifications that go on in the editorial offices when they're putting these things together. They're like, oh, well, we've got these 2 8-page stories, and we've already solicited this book, so let's put all the sketches in the back and the script because people like reading the scripts, and that'll justify the cover price. It's not. I'm sorry. That doesn't justify the cover price. Ghostwriter, you're kind of screwing Jason Aaron here, who's a really good writer, who's telling a really good story. I don't blame him at all for what's going on here, but then you raise the cover price on his book in the middle of a story arc that he's doing, and then, just to put all this stuff in the back that, you don't need. You don't need to raise the cover price of this book in the middle of a story arc just to put this reprinted stuff in it. Gen Next, I'm sorry. Don't give me a friggin'...
Don't even give me that miniseries. I didn't want it. Like, does Chris Claremont need another, thing to write?
Yeah.
$4 also.
And in miniseries, where do you need all this stuff in the back of a miniseries?
And it's not. It's one thing to do it every once in a while, like in Ghost Rider, but the entire 6-issue miniseries, the 3 issues so far, have had all this extra backup. So what's to stop people from not even buying the rest? Like, well, I'll just wait for the fucking trade. But you know what? They're hiking up the prices on the trade, so you're gonna get fucked either way. But that's like...
Hold on, wait. I want to see the name of the editor in here. And whoever you are, I'm sorry. I don't read the general X-Men books just on principle alone.
Nick Lowe.
Nick Lowe. I have a lot of respect for Nick Lowe.
And there's an assistant editor too.
And Will Ponzo. I have a lot. Well, Nick Lowe was involved in the creating of the free comic book, so maybe I can't hold him to that. But whoever was the one who decided to take a free comic book and reprint it with the script in the back and then charge $4 for it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But we won't get fooled again. So, I don't know. Consider yourselves warned, guys. This is bullshit. It's got to stop. And that ends this segment. Thanks for joining us here at the Comics Waiting Room, and we'll catch you over at the Comics Culture Warrior YouTube channel. See you next time.